Welcome to the first superintendent report of this school year. I'm Clover Gandy here with Dr. Ryder Warren. So how have you been?
Clover, I have been good. How about you?
Yeah, I'm great. I like the haircut.
Well, thank you very much. I told you I was looking like a hippie. So
yeah,
I mean,
me too.
how's
Haven't cut my
how's
hair.
school going?
Really well this year. I've actually have like 4 100s in my classes right now.
Nice,
So
Clover.
This is going to be the greatest year.
Is it not crazy that we're already through the first month of school? This is week 4.
It's crazy. Yeah, I don't like my blended classes are starting now. I'm excited for that. Yes.
Good. I love to hear about that.
So what's new about this school year?
Oh, Clover, we've got all kinds of new things going on. You know that you and I talked a lot about last year about the legislative process. We were in a legislative year. Those guys completed their work in Austin, and we're learning a lot of new things from the new laws that are coming out. We changed some things here locally. Mm-hmm. You're in a 9-week grading period now.
Yes, sir. So why exactly did we change that? That's
a great question. So Clover, over the last 4 years since I've been here, I've heard a lot of suggestions, and a lot of this came from your classroom teachers, and from not only from just high school teachers, but from middle school and elementary school. So Clover, when we get to the beginning of the school year, normal school years, we have 6 weeks grading periods, but because of our calendar and the time we start school, a lot of times you only had 5 weeks to begin your school year. That was a lot of work to do. You know, the most important thing teachers do every year is they start the relationships with you guys, with the students. We need to spend a lot of time developing those relationships first. Then we start teaching about safety and security. You know, what are all the safety protocols to make sure that we're all safe on campuses. Then we crack the books open and crack the computers open and we start teaching and learning. Okay, so all of that is really stressful to do all in 5 weeks of school, getting all the grades in that we need to get in. So as a committee, we chose, and several other districts around the state, around the nation have done this. I've never taught on a 9-week period, 4 9 weeks. I was never a principal, nor was I a superintendent. But what the main goal is, we hope this is really going to kind of calm everything down. And you're still going to do the same amount of work.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
But we're going to, hopefully this is going to kind of take some of the stress out of the first 6 weeks or the first 5 weeks and stretch that into the 9 weeks. Now, you're still going to get grade reports every 3 weeks like you've always done, 3 weeks, 6 weeks, but your report card is now going to come at the 9-week time. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yes, of course. That does stretch everything out, and you're right.
It does.
5 weeks is not a bunch of time to do a bunch of things.
No, it's not. And again, we're really stressing, and we heard this from our parents and we heard it from the students, you know, we need to do more with those social emotional standards that we need to ingrain into our curriculum. And we hope that this will really, as the years go by now, that this will help do that. And again, just kind of calm everything down.
That makes sense. So in our classes during like advisory and stuff, we've heard a lot about vaping. So what exactly are we doing?
That is a great question, Clover. Vaping, unfortunately, has become a very prominent issue in our entire society. This is not a Northwest issue. This is not a Texas issue. This is a nation issue. I mean, and I don't know if you knew this, if you caught this yesterday. Even President Trump has came out yesterday.
Yes,
so
sir.
Today's a Thursday. Yesterday, Wednesday. He came out with a tweet or two that he was going to look at vaping and even do away with those flavored vapes. Clover, here's my stance. You know, these companies that make these things, when you make bubblegum flavored vapes, who are you catering to?
Your children, exactly.
Children, that's exactly right. And it irritates me beyond belief that they would do something like that. But we were seeing as of, you know, and we really kind of got to noticing this. Our assistant principals, our campus leaders have been seeing this for a long time, but I really took notice last year when we were having so many kids making the decision to bring vapes. There are kids sitting in our classrooms right now watching this with vapes in their backpack.
Yes, sir.
All right, you see vapes. I won't put you on the spot, but you see it.
Yes.
And we're getting almost weekly news stories of both children and adults having such horrendous reactions to these vapes and what's in these vapes. Kids whose lives have changed forever because of the health situations they're now put in because they wanted to do this. Students, adults everywhere are going to make bad decisions. I understand that. I am the most imperfect superintendent on this planet, and I make mistakes all the time. But to choose to put this thing in your body is a mistake you don't want to make. So we are going to, I hope you are hearing a lot about it firsthand,
yes.
because the first thing we do is we try to educate. We don't talk about punishment first. We talk about educating first. But we've also changed our code of conduct to make the stakes a little higher if kids are caught with these kind of things. And we've already dealt with those kind of issues first 4 weeks of school. So we are not going to run away from this. We are not going to ignore this. We're going to hit it right in the mouth and try to make sure that our kids, that our students understand that this is something they do not want to get into. And it's not about following the rules. It's about creating healthy choices for them and making healthy choices for them. I do not want students leaving Northwest ISD in a situation where they're going to be affected in their health the rest of their lives. That's not what we get into.
Yes, that's not what school's about. I get that.
So I'm glad you asked that question.
Of course. And then also, so it's a safety thing, right?
It is a safety thing.
So what other safety things have we been implementing into the school
Clover,
system?
you're full of great questions today.
Thank you.
You and I talked a lot last year about the amount of money and the amount of training we were doing about safety and security. So in 2017, our taxpayers of Northwest ISD approved $400 million for us to spend on our schools. 14 million of that 400 is going to just safety and security equipment. Parents, visitors now, students, if you're not in school at a certain time, we lock down the school. We lock the front doors, and you actually have to use our video system to be buzzed in. So we know who, like I said, after a certain time, we know who needs to be coming into schools. And if you don't have your ID, if we don't think you need to be in, we're going to say have a nice day and goodbye. So you're not going to get in. Teachers actually have lockdowns on their rooms now. That we at some of our older campuses, teachers actually had to go outside their door to lock it from the outside to come back in. Well, if there's somebody in the hallway that doesn't need to be there, we don't want anybody walking outside to try to lock their door. So every teacher has that switch now to lock down their doors. We have several other things that we have already put in, and one of the most important thing is all students, all NISD students, and Clover, we're up to 25,000 kids now.
Yeah.
We're learning new protocols on how to deal with those kind of issues. And you hate to talk about active shooters on campuses, and we never ever want it to happen here, but it's happened other places, so we have to be ready for it. So our safety and security department has researched new ways of doing things, and it may not be just about locking down and hiding. It might be running, it might be doing something, it might be breaking a window. Anything that we can do to help us be safer, to get away from the danger, we're going to be trained in that. So your teachers, you're going to be all, we're going to continue to look for new ways of, again, just trying to make us as safe as possible.
Of course.
So we're going to have a great school year. We're already off to a great school year. I wrote a letter to parents last week thanking them because we're off to the greatest school year I've been in my career, and I'm old, and I've been doing a lot of first school years. But a lot of it has to do with our students as well. Our students have really they came out of summer, they started working, and I appreciate that.
Of course. And then real quick, so Lance was built, right? What's new of Lance?
Lance Thompson Elementary School had a fantastic opening. In fact, we're going to do the official dedication of the building, even though we're going to be in it for 2 months. We're going to do that in October. We're going to have the Thompson family out there and celebrate with them. But Lance Thompson Elementary School had a great opening. Again, we're going to start opening a school every year for about the next 2 to 3 years, just because of our growth. But Lance Thompson was a great opening.
That's so exciting! All the little kids in
That's
elementary
right.
school.
They love it. The teachers love it out there.
Love
The staff,
that.
parents. It's a great campus, and it'll serve our kids for the next 50 years.
Of course. Okay, so thank you for coming in, and thank you guys for coming or watching the Superintendent Report. So we'll see you guys next time.